Chapter 1. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Eastern Region, Xian Tianzong, an old man with white hair reaching his waist and wearing a black robe was leaning on a cane. He looked at the weathered face reflected on the lake in disbelief and uttered a curse word. Fuck. Yi Junlin never dreamed that he just slept secretly in class, and when he woke up, he found that he had traveled through time. Looking at the wrinkled old face on the lake, Yi Junlin was so angry that his whole body was trembling, and his eyes were red and he shouted angrily. Is there any justice for riding on a horse? Others who travel through time are young talents from aristocratic families, or are the holy sons of a holy land, or are earth-shatteringly handsome, or at least average-looking. As a result, he turned out to be a stinky old man with no energy. Through memory, I learned that this world is called Kunlun realm, where practitioners are respected. Flying with swords, moving mountains and filling seas is not a problem. The original owner of this body is the master of Shantian sect Piamiao Peak, one of the 6 major sects in Huangzhou in the eastern region. He was highly respected in the sect, and he used to be extremely talented. He cultivated to the golden elixir stage at a young age. Later, during an operation to suppress evil cultivators, his elixir field was attacked and destroyed. As a result, he lost all his cultivation and became a useless person. In the following decades, he became confused, passive and decadent, staying on the mountain without caring about worldly affairs. Seeing the former most potential peak master go into desolation, the senior officials of Shantian sect felt very sorry, but they were at a loss what to do. In other words, I am an ordinary person now, based on my previous years. Suddenly, Yi Junlin thought of something, and a huge panic emerged in his heart. You know, this body is already 110 years old. The reason why it can survive to this day is because when I was a monk, I took various life-prolonging elixirs, but even so, according to the lifespan of a mortal, he is already on the verge of death and is about to burp. No way, I just traveled through time and am about to say goodbye to this world forever. Wait a minute, I still have a chance. Usually cheats arrive at this time. That with years of experience in writing online articles, Yi Junlin gradually calmed down. He hit the ground heavily with his crutches and shouted into the air with a proud face. System, your father is here, why don't you come out and see him quickly? That there was no response from all around. Okay. You're playing hide and seek with me, right? Come on, stop making trouble. Quiet as a chicken. Brother Tongzi, I was wrong. I was joking just now. You might as well just say something. System's biological father. Master System. Silence, deadly silence. I understand, it's not System Flow. Yi Junlin changed his mind, frowned and groped all over his body, only to find an old ring. Then with an anxious mood, he moved his face closer and lowered his voice and asked. Master, are you inside? The ring didn't respond. Old guy, stop pretending, I know you're hiding inside. Ring. Does it require blood to be effective? Yi Junlin bit his finger and dripped blood on the ring. He waited nervously for 10 seconds and found that there was still no change. Gone. Goldfinger has nothing, so traveling through time will be useless. With such an old body and bones, he would probably die if he took a fall. The more Yi Junlin thought about it, the angrier he became. He pointed his crutch at the sky and cursed. Oh my god. Fuck %#*%. 2 minutes later, ding, it was detected that the host's curse words were too dirty, so this system had to be activated passively. Please stop scolding the host and be a civilized person. A mechanical system prompt sounded in my ears. Yi Junlin was stunned immediately, holding his chest in excitement, and almost died of a heart attack on the spot. Tongzi, you are not kind, you just showed up now. I almost suspect that this book was published by a mortal. Ding, I'm sorry, I slept a little too hard before, and this system just woke up. Let me go, this is too unreliable, isn't it? Is this how you treat time travelers? Ding, host, please be careful with your words, this system is very professional. Okay, let's change the voice first. The voice of your system is as emotionless as a robot. Since you say you are professional, then change it to a Lolita voice. The system is loading new voice packs. Ding, the lowly sound modification is completed. Is the host still satisfied? In the next second, the system changed from a mechanical and cold voice to a soft and cute voice. Hey, are you serious? You are so generous, but you are not allowed to change it without my permission. Ding, okay, in order to better compensate the host, the system will reward the newbie with a gift package. Do you want to open it? Tear it apart for me. Ding, congratulations to the host for gaining special abilities. You will become stronger when you encounter strong ones. Tongzi, be specific. Yi Junlin asked curiously. Ding, as long as the host faces any enemy who is stronger than itself, he can permanently gain a higher level of cultivation than the enemy on the spot. And there are no side effects. Fuck, Yi Junlin was startled and asked tentatively, really or not, for example, if I am an ordinary person now, if I face the way of heaven. Ding, this system is a no-brainer, just go ahead and try it, I guarantee there will be no problem. The system's Lolita tone rang in my ears. Should you die if you don't try? Yi Junlin muttered to himself, if the system had this ability, wouldn't it just take off? Just go meet those awesome practitioners and get a higher level of cultivation than them. Practice. What a fart repair. Ding, as a warm reminder, this system has detected the current physical condition of the host. There is still 1 hour left before the end of life. No, is it about to happen? What should I do? Wait, I can find someone to fight with. In this way, I can achieve a higher realm than him, and my lifespan can be extended accordingly. After making up his mind, Yi Junlin leaned on his crutches, struggled to move forward, and hurriedly went down the mountain to find someone to touch porcelain with. However, the end of this body was approaching, and he felt increasingly powerless, and he was out of breath after walking for a while. Seeing that there was still a long way to go to the bottom of the mountain, Yi Junlin broke down and complained. Good guy, why do you think you just stay in the mountains? As a result, both labor and management are now implicated by you. Clang clang, at this time, there was a rapid ringing of the bell from the sect. Everyone in Xiantian's sect was shocked, because this meant that an enemy was coming. Rumble, the sky was covered with dark clouds, and densely packed huge birds were approaching. The terrifying demonic energy swept across like a storm. What happened? Yi Junlin's scalp felt numb. Within the sect, dozens of blazing halos rose, forming a formation that erupted with terrifying energy fluctuations. Both disciples and elders filed out one after another, holding magic weapons and waiting in formation. How dare you? What kind of evildoer dares to cause trouble for my Xiantian sect? The mellow voice echoed with anger in all directions. The sect leader Su Yonyan appeared in mid-air, followed by a group of peak masters with powerful auras. You bastards of Xiantian sect, I didn't expect that this demon king is still alive. I will kill all of you today, the leader Qingping demon king said with a face filled with resentment. It turns out it's you, you evil beast. The sect leader Su Yonyan narrowed his eyes slightly. 10 years ago, the Qingping clan massacred a small country in Huangzhou. The small country had no choice but to ask Xiantian's sect for help. It was he who personally led the troops to rescue the siege. I remember that the leader of the Qingping demon king was severely injured by me and then fell down a cliff. His life and death were uncertain. Unexpectedly, after many years, it will come back again. The humiliation I suffered at the time is still vivid in my mind. Today I am here to avenge you and bloodbath your Xiantian sect. Qingping demon king said with a ferocious smile. Humph, how dare you speak so wildly, just because of the beasts you brought with you? Su Yonyan, with hair flying in the air, said disdainfully. That's why. With a bang, the Qingping demon king's aura was like a flood, and the power of the nascent soul level was overwhelming like a mountain. What, you actually broke through? Su Yonyan's expression changed drastically. He is still stuck in the golden core consummation, with no sign of breakthrough for many years. Unexpectedly, this evil beast would be a blessing in disguise and enter the nascent soul realm first. After all, for a small and low-ranking state in the eastern region, a nascent soul-level powerhouse is enough to stand out from the rest. Sovereign, what should we do? The 7 peak masters said solemnly. At this point, we can only give it a try. Su Yonyan gritted his teeth and said. Young men, come to me. Kill these stinking Taoist priests. The Qingping Demon King flapped its wings, as if a cyan comet fell from the sky, exuding an aura of destruction. Yes, your majesty. A group of cyan demonic birds launched an attack. Some opened their mouths to spit out glowing light, and some leaned down to attack. Swear to defend Xiantian's sect to the death. Su Yonyan roared and led all the monks to rise up to resist. On Qiaomiao Peak, Yi Junlin stared blankly at all this. Suddenly he reacted, waved his crutch and shouted eagerly. Hey, come on, anyone, hit me. Hit me quickly. Unfortunately, everyone was busy fighting, and Yi Junlin's little voice was naturally drowned out by the shouts of killing. Ding, the system reminds you that the host currently has 10 minutes left in its lifespan. Please take remedial measures as soon as possible. No, you are in such a hurry to be reincarnated. Yi Junlin was so angry that he threw his crutch on the ground. He didn't expect time to fly by so quickly. Could it be that his career as an immortal is about to end before it even begins? Chapter 2 shocked the whole sect. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the sky, the sound of rumbling explosions was heard endlessly, and powerful spells intertwined all over the sky, blooming with colorful light. The corpses of demonic birds fell one after another, and their shrill cries echoed in the valley. Kill! Many disciples and elders fought hard. Some of them cast spells and some controlled flying swords. Their eyes were full of determination, and they were bound to live and die with the sect. In mid-air, the sect leader Su Yonyan and the 7 Golden Core Peak Masters were going all out to fight against the Qingping Demon King, Rumble. The energy fluctuations released by their fight formed a hurricane, rolling up rows of trees below, spinning around, and then bursting into pieces. The scene was extremely chaotic, as if a natural disaster had struck. Qingping Demon King sneered, it's too weak. If this is all your strength, then I can only say it's not painful or itchy. Evil animal, rest wild. Su Yonyan shouted loudly, and as he made seals with his hands, countless blue thunder and lightning tore through the void, roaring like an angry dragon. Kill! The other peak masters roared and each used their strongest spells. For an instant, the scene was horrifying, the sky was shattering and the earth was shattering. Interesting, I will let you see how powerful the nascent soul stage is. The Qingping Demon King's eyes were fierce, and he vibrated his wings that covered the sky. His aura was rising at an alarming speed, and when he opened his mouth, he sprayed out a huge destructive beam of light. Boom! The turbulent light group was dazzling, like the sun rising from the ground. When the terrifying aftermath gradually dissipated, several embarrassed figures fell down, and a loud bang stirred up dust and sand all over the sky. Cough cough. Su Yonyan and several peak leaders had blood coming from the corners of their mouths. They stood up with difficulty, their eyes full of grief and anger. There is no way, the gap between the Golden Core stage and the nascent soul stage is too big. Ha ha ha, who else wants to resist? Just accept your death. Qingping Demon King smiled proudly. Do not. Seeing that the strongest people in the Xiantian sect were easily defeated by the Qingping Demon King, countless disciples and elders looked desperate. The atmosphere is extremely depressing, and death envelopes the entire sect. Sudden, an inappropriately old voice sounded, and his tone was full of frivolity that was inappropriate for his age. Hey, that stupid bird. Look over here. Don't look around, I'm talking about you. Okay. Qingping Demon King was stunned and looked towards the source of the sound. He found that on the mountain surrounded by clouds and mist not far away, there stood an old man in black robes with a cane. He was holding a big horn in his hand and was talking crazy to him. Clamor. Damn human being, how dare you insult me? Qingping Demon King couldn't believe it. It could see that the other party had no cultivation and that his vitality and blood were declining, and that he was approaching his end. Yi, junior brother Yi, Su Yonyan and the 7 peak masters were dumbfounded. They never expected that the peak master of Miao Miao Peak, who had always lived in seclusion and had no interest in worldly affairs, would appear at this critical moment. At this time, Junlin waved his crutches, held a loudspeaker in his hand, and shouted arrogantly, "You silly bird, come and hit me if you don't like it. I'll be waiting here." Suffering from not having time to go down the mountain and being ignored by no one, Junlin, who was racing against time, had an idea and went back to the cave where the original body lived, and finally found this unique loudspeaker. No cultivation is needed to activate it. As long as the spirit stone is installed, the sound can be amplified 10,000 times. His purpose is very simple, just to find a fight. At this juncture, someone suddenly shouted and cursed the Qing demon king in public, which instantly caused both sides who were still fighting to stop. Countless astonished eyes converged on the white-haired old man who exhaled fragrant fragrance. "Oh my God, is it the former legend from Piaomiao Peak? I know that he was the youngest Jindan monk in Xiantian sect's history. Later, his cultivation was abolished due to a battle, and there is no news about him anymore. Compared with the rumors, Peak Master Yi seems a bit irritable." Surprised comments arose. The Qing demon king was so angry that his orifices were filled with smoke. The nascent soul-level pressure released from his whole body distorted the surrounding void, and his eyes almost burst out with anger. "In my entire life, this king has never seen anyone so arrogant. Hey, you saw it today." Junlin raised his chin, as if he wanted to be beaten, but there were large beads of sweat on his forehead. His old body became weaker and weaker, and double images gradually appeared in front of his eyes. Ding, the system reminds you that there are still 10 seconds left before the host dies on the spot. Start countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7. Damn it, why doesn't this stupid bird hit me? Help! Junlin was wailing in his heart, feeling that he was going to see his great-grandmother. Arrogant! I will make you disappear into ashes now. Anger defeated reason, and the Qing demon king decided to use all his strength to erase that tiny human from this world. Boom! It opened its mouth and sprayed out a terrifying energy beam, piercing the sky with a destructive aura. This was a full blow from the nascent soul-level monster, and all the monks present could not stop it. Junior brother Yi. They were devastated for a long time. Unexpectedly, the most courageous person in Xiantian sect who died was still the genius who broke the record of golden elixir. Good guy, we're finally here. Facing the terrifying attack of the nascent soul-level demon king, Junlin not only did not feel scared, but instead showed an excited smile on his face. Ding, it is detected that the host encounters an attack from an enemy in the early stage of the nascent soul realm. Now it triggers the passive effect of getting stronger when encountering strong ones, and gains the cultivation level of the mid-stage nascent soul realm. Next second, powerful cultivation energy burst out from the body, and the old body that was originally sluggish bloomed with vigorous vitality again. The age spots on the skin disappeared, and the skin became white and delicate. The old face changed rapidly, and the appearance was fixed in youth. Appearance, the sword-shaped eyebrows fly into the temples, the eyes are as deep as stars, and the face is plump and handsome. The strange thing is that the waist-length white hair has not transformed into the normal black color, but has become increasingly silvery and shiny, like a bright star hanging down. Is this the nascent soul stage? Junlin felt the terrifying energy in his body, his face was filled with surprise and joy. Ding, of course, this system is professional. The soft and waxy lowly sound rings in the ears, enough to make countless otakus feel itchy inside. Boom dash, the destructive light pillar suddenly bent, as if it was knocked away by a more powerful energy, and rushed into the sky and exploded. The terrifying pressure surged and spread like a tidal wave, causing everyone present to have their scalps almost explode and tremble with fear. Qing demon king's anger seemed to be extinguished by ice water, and his eyes showed surprise. Are you also in the nascent soul realm? It didn't expect at all that there were nascent soul realm monks stationed here. And the cultivation seems to be deeper than it is. In countless shocked eyes, Junlin was wearing a black robe, his hands were clasped behind his back and he slowly rose up. His long silver-white hair was dancing wildly. There was a terrifying light shining in his eyes, and his whole body was filled with a suppressive aura. How is this possible? Junior brother Yi is actually a strong person in the nascent soul realm. Su Yonyan and the others were stunned as if they were struck by lightning, and their expressions were extremely wonderful. Are you kidding me? On the surface, he has lost all his cultivation and has become an ordinary mortal, but in fact, he has quietly broken through to the nascent soul realm. It turns out that all these years of self-destruction were actually a cover-up. Junior brother Yi, I dare you to be a 6th grade child. Am I right? The master of Piamiao Peak is actually a Yuanying realm monk. That's the nascent soul realm. There aren't many of them in the entire Huangzhou. But our Xiantian sect also has one. Excellent, my Xiantian sect. You monsters are finished. That when they saw Yi Junlin bursting into nascent soul realm cultivation, the entire sect was ecstatic and cheered. To know, practitioners are divided into realms, including Qi training, foundation building, golden elixir, nascent soul, spirit transformation, integration, Mahayana, transcending tribulations, and true immortals, among the 14 states in the eastern region. Huangzhou is at the bottom, and a nascent soul realm monk is enough to dominate all directions. Ding! Congratulations to the host for gaining cultivation for the first time. The system will randomly reward a magical power, the finger of the prisoner of the wild. Yi Junlin was stunned. This system was quite good. Boom. Suddenly, an overwhelming amount of information exploded in his mind, and Yi Junlin unconsciously mastered this terrifying technique. Fellow Taoist, everything that happened just now was just a misunderstanding. I have decided to settle the differences with your sect and pay you a visit when I have time in the future. Little ones, withdraw. Qingping Demon King thought over and over again and took the initiative to surrender and retreat. Hey, now that you're here, don't even think about leaving. Yi Junlin wrote lightly. Hearing this, a fierce light flashed in Qingping Demon King's eyes. Your Excellency's cultivation is a little deeper than mine, but the gap is not big. Are you sure you want to fight to the death? Although it was in the early stage of Yuanying and Yi Junlin was in the middle stage of Yuanying, Qingping Demon King felt that with his physical talent, he might be able to make up for his disadvantage in cultivation. If a fight really breaks out, it's still unclear who will win. Therefore, Qingping Demon King felt that by taking the initiative to surrender, he had given enough face to his opponent. You are so self-righteous, you are really a fool. Yi Junlin shook his head and sneered. Human, you forced me to do this. Being humiliated one after another, the Qingping Demon King's anger was completely ignited. It flapped its wings and mobilized all its mana, and its aura became violent. This was because it was burning the demon elixir in its body and tried its best. Not good. Su Yonyan and they became nervous. If Yi Junlin has 3 advantages and 2 disadvantages, it will be the biggest loss to Xiantian's sect. In the nick of time, Yi Junlin's expression remained unchanged, his long silver-white hair was messy and flying, and he slowly raised his hands high above his head. Boom. In an instant, the color of the sky and the earth changes, the wind blows and the clouds remain. A terrifying sense of oppression came from the depths of the sky, and a giant finger like a pillar of heaven, covered with ancient lines, pressed down with destructive power. At the same time, the cold voice contained a majestic meaning, as if it sounded deep in everyone's hearts. The Great Wilderness Prisoner Sky Finger. Chapter 3 Sign-in Rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Moment, the terrifying murderous intention was firmly locked on the Qingping Demon King, so frightened that its scalp almost exploded, and unprecedented fear arose spontaneously. This is. The Qingping Demon King's mind went blank, and he watched with horror as the giant finger continued to expand, and the surrounding space froze, making it difficult to move. Boom. The earth trembled, and smoke and dust filled the sky. In the sunken pit lay a huge dead bird covered in blood. The king is dead, everyone run away. Seeing the death of their leader, all Qingping were frightened and evacuated quickly, trying their best to escape from this place of right and wrong. Kill. Not one left. Su Yonyan recovered from the shock and shouted excitedly. Yes. The morale of the disciples and elders soared and they began a full-scale counterattack. Soon, all the demon birds that broke into Xiantian's sect were killed. As the savior of the sect, Yi Junlin naturally attracted great attention in the sect. Just the method he just revealed made countless people look at him with admiration in their eyes. Junior brother Yi, it's really thanks to you this time. The sect leader Su Yonyan said with emotion on his face and cupped his hands. Before, we thought that your cultivation would be abolished and you would never recover. Unexpectedly, secretly, you have already broken through the nascent soul. You. The master of Hidden Sword Peak is an unshaven middle-aged man, with a complicated face and a bitter smile. You idiot, what do you know? That's because junior brother Yi is relatively low-key, so he doesn't make any public announcements and silently protects the sect. The master of Chen Peak covered his mouth and chuckled, his plump and delicate body exuding a mature charm. He looked at the handsome face of the silver-haired young man with a hint of admiration in his eyes. Junior brother Yi is really as charming as ever. It turns out that our situation is too small. The other peak masters nodded. Good guys, they are all very clever. Yi Junlin muttered in his heart, but since you think so, it saves you the trouble of explaining. Report to the sect leader. Something bad has happened. At this time, an elder's cry came out. Su Yonyan's face changed slightly. What's the matter? Tell me. Just now, Fenglai sect suddenly launched an attack and invaded the spiritual minds and spiritual veins belonging to our sect. The disciples in charge of the garrison resisted desperately, and almost the entire army was wiped out. Boom. The voice just fell. Everyone was furious. Yi Junlin frowned and learned from his memory that Fenglai sect was one of the 6 major sects in Huangzhou and the closest sect to Xiantian sect. There were some conflicts before, but they were all under control. It's just that this time Fenglai sect launched a large-scale attack, and it happened to be at this point in time. It was obvious that they were taking advantage of the demon clan's power to sneak in. Its heart is awkward. Ding, to trigger the sign-in task, please complete the sign-in at Fenglai sect. The host will receive unimaginable rewards. The sweet lowly prompt sounds. Okay. Yi Junlin was a little curious. It seemed that he was going to make a trip out of love and reason. Hateful. Fenglai sect has gone too far to bully others. Please follow me to take back the resource land. Su Yonyan said angrily. Then, he looked at Yi Junlin and said tentatively, I don't know what junior brother Yi wants. In the world of cultivation, the strong are respected. Now in the entire Xiantian sect, Yi Junlin has the highest cultivation level. Even though he is the leader of a sect, he must ask the other party's opinions when necessary. Well, you do your thing, and I'll go into Fenglai sect first. Yi Junlin waved his hand. Now that he is stronger when he encounters the strong, and with the help of top-notch skills, he naturally has the strength to say this. What's more, Fenglai Zong happened to hit the muzzle of the gun at this time, so he could use it for surgery. Okay, junior brother Yi is so damn domineering. Su Yonyan was startled at first and gave a thumbs up excitedly. Everyone was very excited. How many years had Xiantian sect not been so strong? This time it is bound to make a name for itself. Subsequently, the warships all over the sky were assembled and launched an attack towards their destination. The scale is huge and the morale of everyone is high. Even the dogs passing by were slapped. At this time, occupied major resource areas. The remaining monks of the Xiantian sect were covered in blood and dressed in rags, and were imprisoned in cages like beggars. Their faces were disgraced and their eyes were bloodshot. Showing resentment around him, monks wearing blue clothes passed by from time to time, occasionally casting contemptuous and sarcastic glances. Senior brother, I never thought that this spiritual vein would belong to our Fenglai sect from now on. That among them, a young man with a sharp mouth and monkey cheeks laughed. Humph, not only this spiritual vein, but all Xiantian sect's resources will belong to our sect from now on. The tall man looked proud. Bah! You're just talking nonsense. Just wait, Xiantian sect will organize a team to retake this place soon. In the cage, the injured disciple said angrily. Ha 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 ha. The tall man raised his head and laughed wildly, his laughter full of strong sarcasm. Hey, what are you laughing at? I laugh at you for being ignorant and stupid. Facing the question from the Xiantian sect monk, the tall man stepped forward and said with a strange smile. Don't you know yet? Your sect is in danger. Just now, the Qing Demon King led his tribe to attack Xiantian's sect, and its realm has exceeded nascent soul. What do you think the Xiantian sect, which ranks at the bottom of the 6 major sects, has a chance of winning against a nascent soul-level powerhouse? What? The Xiantian sect monk was shocked and looked sad. No wonder Fenglai's sect would take this opportunity to invade the sect's territory. Humph, if you say so, when that beast destroys my Xiantian sect, will it let your Fenglai sect go with its appetite? Don't forget that your Fenglai sect is closest to our Xiantian sect. Some disciples said bitterly. If you want to be alone, just dream. That the strange thing is, the tall man was not annoyed after hearing this, but instead smiled and said, "Thanks to the love of God, I, the young master of Fenglai sect, became a disciple of Yuhua sect in Qingzhou many years ago. Because of my outstanding talent and successful cultivation, I attracted great attention from Yuhua sect. Just today, an elder from the Yuhua sect paid a special visit to our Fenglai sect. With his strength, it was easy to kill the Qing Demon King." Qingzhou. Feather Gate. The Xiantian sect monk's heart was beating wildly. There are a total of 14 daozhou in the eastern region, each of which is vast and contains large and small countries and families. If Huangzhou is a remote place, then Qingzhou is the supreme treasure of the eastern region. As for the Yuhua sect, it is the top sect with the most famous name in Qingzhou. A nascent soul monk who can establish a sect in Huangzhou can only be a disciple there. If this is the case, then Fenglai's sect has a backer. The Qing Demon King is really nothing. It's over, it's over. The information revealed by these words completely destroyed the faith of the Xiantian sect monks. They were all lost and muttering dejectedly to themselves. How dare you say something harsh to these lost dogs? From now on, you will be responsible for mining spiritual veins here, and you will work as a horse for our Fenglai sect for the rest of your life. The tall man sneered. Teacher, senior brother, look at that. Some disciples stretched out their fingers and shouted in horror. Boom, not far away, several huge warships came over, shouts of killing came from far away, and the fighting spirit was high. Xiantian sect disciples obey the order and kill all outsiders. As powerful figures soared into the air, terrifying pressure enveloped all directions. How is it possible? There is actually a strong man in the Golden Core stage personally leading the team. Didn't Xiantian sect already? In an instant, wails, screams, and cries resounded throughout the occupied resource areas. Fenglai sect, in the antique hall, the leader of the sect, Chen Yunhai, and a group of core senior officials were receiving this important person from afar. Mulao, I heard that my son Chen Xiao has performed extremely well in the Yuhua sect and has been accepted as a true disciple by a certain venerable. Is this true? Chen Yunhai said cautiously. Mulao smoothed his goatee and said with a kind smile, Sect Master Chen, this is of course true. Your young master has been valued by Venerable Zhu Yang and has taught you the supreme Taoism. I think I will come back to Fenglai sect to visit you someday. Immediately, there was an uproar. Chen Yunhai's face turned red with excitement. That is a venerable person. Only by reaching the Mahayana realm can one have this honor and bear this title. His son Chen Xiao was actually accepted as a disciple by a strong man in the Mahayana realm. Sect Master, what a joy to congratulate you. A group of sect leaders said flatteringly. Chen Yunhai stroked his goatee and said proudly. My son Chen Xiao has the appearance of becoming an immortal. Seeing everyone's excitement, Mulao smiled like a spring breeze, with a trace of disgust flashing in his eyes. If it weren't for Chen Xiao's high status in the sect and for the sake of Venerable Zhu Yang, he wouldn't have come to this poor spiritual place. Ahem, this is a high-quality infant transformation pill. Your young master entrusted me to give it to sect leader Chen. Huaing Dan. Sect Master Chen opened the box excitedly, and the round and spiritual elixir appeared shining brightly in front of his eyes. Congratulations, Sect Master, with the help of this elixir, you will definitely break through and become a nascent soul monk. The elders stood up and congratulated. My son is interested. Chen Yunhai's face glowed red. See, Mu Lao's inner disdain was even greater. It's just nascent soul, so happy like this, as expected of a country boy. Thoughts turn, he cupped his hands with a smile on his face and said, I would like to congratulate Sect Master Chen in advance on his breakthrough. If nothing happens, I will say goodbye first. Wait a minute, Chen Yunhai said shamelessly, as for that beast, I will solve it easily. Mu Lao said calmly, it was his words that revealed the realm of Qingping Demon King, which made Chen Yunhai ambitiously dispatch a team to seize the Xiantian sect's resources. That's good. Chen Yunhai was all smiles, boom. Suddenly, a black-robed figure broke through numerous formation obstacles and descended alone into Fenglai's sect, instantly causing a huge sensation. Yi Junlin's long silver-white hair was flying, and he ignored the frightened disciples and elders around him, with a playful smile on his lips. Is this the Fenglai sect? At this time, a sweet lowly sound came into my mind. Ding, we have arrived at the sign-in location Fenglai sect. Do you want to sign in? Sign in, Yi Junlin said silently, he really wanted to see what good thing it would be. Ding, the sign-in is successful, congratulations to the host for getting. Chapter 4, Cultivation level rises again. Experience package delivered to your door. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, the sign-in is successful. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the seal of the Human King and the Great Void Technique. Yi Junlin's eyes lit up and he was overjoyed. After all, in the fight between practitioners, strength is the decisive factor, because it is not ruled out that there are a very small number of monsters who can fight across levels. Before he becomes a being that transcends heaven, he still has to rely on his own strength if he wants to remain invincible. Therefore, the sign-in rewards this time came in time, and they are all top-notch magical powers, which can be said to be even more powerful. Senior, I wonder why you came to visit our Fenglai sect? After sensing the atmosphere from the outside world, Chen Yunhai led the sect's senior leaders out of the hall. When he saw Yi Junlin, he was shocked. Why does this person look so similar to the famous Xiantian sect monster decades ago? He remembered that the other party had cultivated to the golden elixir stage at a young age, which made him very worried when he found out, fearing that the Xiantian sect would skyrocket from now on. Fortunately, the other party suffered a sneak attack and lost all his cultivation. Later, he lived in seclusion in the mountains and did not care about worldly affairs. After so many years, he thought that this person had already passed away. Now seeing Yi Junlin again, Chen Yunhai was shocked. Yi Junlin seemed to be smiling but not smiling. Are you pretending to be stupid? You dare to invade my Xiantian sect's territory. As a severe punishment, Fenglai sect will cease to exist starting today. Boom. As soon as this word comes out, the entire Fenglai sect fell into panic. It seems that the Qingping Demon King has been killed. Your Xiantian sect is hiding so deeply. Chen Yunhai looked ugly. Unexpectedly, the genius of the Xiantian sect back then not only did not fall into the mortal world, but quietly broke through to the nascent soul realm. Before he could do it again, he would definitely be so frightened that he would be begging for mercy on his knees. Fortunately, he had someone to rely on today, and that was the strong man from the Yuhua sect who came all the way. Looking at the calm old man, Chen Yunhai felt very calm. Mr. Mu, look at the situation now. He knew that this was definitely not an existence that the nascent soul cultivator could contend with. Mu Lao shook his head. Although it is a bit surprising that a small sect in this barren land has given birth to a monk who can kill Yuaning stage monsters, but in his eyes, he was as powerful as the Qingping Demon King, a flat-haired beast that could be easily destroyed. Boy, get out of here quickly before I change my mind. Mu Lao thinks very highly of himself, and he has a natural sense of superiority over the monks in this small place. He was too lazy to intervene in the disputes here, but because of his relationship with the young master of Fenglai sect, he could only wave his hands impatiently, as if to ward off flies. Mu Lao. Hearing this, Chen Yunhai was a little unhappy. In his opinion, this powerful man should directly kill him. Feeling the other party's arrogance, Yi Junlin sneered, "Old man, what are you doing when you step on a horse? Do you want me to give you face?" In an instant, everyone in Fenglai sect was shocked. Asshole, this person is from Qingzhou Yuhua sect. His status is so noble that you, a little Xiantian sect monk, can't offend. Chen Yunhai pretended to be angry, but in fact he was happy inside. He looked at Yi Junlin as if he were looking at a corpse. Insanity. Mu Lao was enraged, his eyes flashed fiercely, and his aura suddenly surged, as if it was sweeping through him like a hurricane. In an instant, terrifying pressure enveloped Fenglei sect. Divinity Realm. The crowd was horrified. If a powerful person in the god transformation stage takes action, the monks of Xiantian's sect will definitely die. At the same time, they were even more in awe of the Yuhua sect in their hearts. Transform into a god. Okay, don't run away. Whoever runs away will be the grandson. Yi Junlin's eyes lit up and he said in surprise, I have just reached nascent soul, and now I am going to be promoted to transformation god. What an experience package that comes to my doorstep. Mu Lao was so angry that his face was livid. He is a powerful person in the realm of gods, shouldn't the other party be afraid? What's this inexplicable excitement about? Court death. Mu Lao shouted angrily and stretched out his big hand to grab it. Swish, the giant turquoise hand condensed from the wood essence, like the palm of a god, swatted towards Yi Junlin. This blow is enough to kill the nascent soul cultivator no less than hundreds of times. Very good, this boy will die today. Chen Yunhai smiled, as long as Yi Junlin is eliminated, Xiantian's sect will no longer threaten him. When he successfully broke through with the Huaying pill, he led his men to launch a general attack and completely razed the sect to the ground. Ding, it has been detected that the host is attacked by enemies in the late stage of the god transformation realm. Now it triggers the passive effect of becoming stronger when encountering strong ones, and obtains the peak cultivation level of the god transformation realm. In an instant, a more powerful cultivation energy raged in Yi Junlin's body, and the aura it exuded was so terrifying that the expressions of everyone present changed drastically. Boom. The big blue hand that looked like a mountain was shattered by Yi Junlin with a casual raise of his hand, and turned into countless starlights pouring down, which was really spectacular. You are also in the state of transformation into gods. Mu Lao was startled and looked at him in disbelief. In his eyes, the silver-haired young man who was originally at the nascent soul stage suddenly burst out with the aura of the god transformation stage, which was even deeper than him. What are you kidding? In this barren state, there are actually natives who have cultivated themselves to the point of becoming gods. How is this possible? Chen Yunhai's smile disappeared instantly, replaced by a sense of fear, and his voice was as thin as a woman's. He was really frightened. My heart almost stopped beating. The mere Xiantian sect actually has a powerful person in the god transformation stage sitting in charge. Now, everyone in the Fenglei sect was so frightened that they didn't dare to breathe, and looked at Yi Junlin with horrified faces. In Huangzhou, Yuanying monks are already very powerful. They exist as the founder or ancestor of a sect and can make a sect stand firm for thousands of years, and the gods above the nascent soul can live for thousands of years and have the ability to destroy the heaven and the earth. Therefore, when they saw Yi Junlin showing off his cultivation, everyone present was so embarrassed. Mu Lao, what should we do now? Chen Yunhai asked for help in a tone of voice. If he knew that Xiantian's sect had a transformed god, he would not dare to provoke him even if he was beaten to death. Mu Lao's eyes changed one after another, as if he had thought of something, and he gradually regained his composure and sneered, why are you panicking? Don't forget that I come from the Yuhua sect of Qingzhou. How can he imagine the methods of the immortal family that he has mastered? Based on this boy has no odds of winning. Chen Yunhai's eyes lit up. After all, the Yuhua Gate is the holy land for cultivating immortals in Qingzhou, where all kinds of high-level techniques are available. Otherwise, why would there be so many monks in the eastern region trying to get in? In comparison, even if a small local sect like the Xiantian sect has a transformed god, the strength of the same realm will be very different due to the foundation of its skills. Think of this. Chen Yunhai breathed a sigh of relief and looked at Yi Junlin with hatred in his eyes. Fortunately, Mu Lao was present today, otherwise Fenglei sect would have been destroyed. So dangerous. Old guy, are you so confident? Yi Junlin raised his eyebrows. Mu Lao's tone was arrogant. I admit that your cultivation talent is extraordinary, but unfortunately, when it comes to fighting between monks, you will never be able to compete with me, because I come from the Yuhua sect. Feathergate, these 3 words have explained everything. Any of the monks among them would be like a dragon or a phoenix among the people in the deserted state. He could kill enemies as easily as he could eat and drink. That was unimaginable power among the grassroots monks. Suffer to death. Mu Lao made secrets with his hands and his robes flickered, with a rumble, dash, thick green vines covered the sky, turning into giant hands holding up the sky and grabbing Yi Junlin, the top-level magical power, Tai Aoki Palm. In the world of cultivation, all skills are divided into levels, namely mortal level, spiritual level, mysterious level, earth level, heaven level, respected level, immortal level and holy level. There are very few monks in Huangzhou who can practice spiritual level skills, and even one spiritual level exercise can be used as a treasure to suppress the sect. Now, Mu Lao directly uses the top-level magical power, which is enough to see the terrifying background of Yuhua sect. Boy, it is your honor as a low-level sect monk to die in my hands. Mu Lao is high-spirited and confident, this is his best magical power, and he once established a great reputation among the elders of the outer sect. Humph, worm-carving trick. Yi Junlin reached out and pinched the seal with his hand. Boom! Behind him, a vast figure towering over the sky and the earth appeared, like a godless emperor suppressing hundreds of millions of people. What is this? Beads of sweat poured out from Mu Lao's forehead, his pupils suddenly shrank into needles, and goosebumps appeared all over his body, making his hair stand on end. He had never seen such a domineering and unparalleled magical power, and the first sight made him feel surrendered. Human King Seal, the clear voice echoed through the sky, revealing a sense of majesty. Under countless shocked looks, Yi Junlin raised his hand to strike the human King Seal. Its momentum is threatening to overturn the sun and moon, and disrupt the heavens. Chapter 5 My son Chen Xiao has the appearance of becoming an immortal. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom! The 2 sides collided. Tai's greenwood palm was directly annihilated. The human King Seal hangs over Mu Lao's head, suppressing it. Not good. Mu Lao offered up magic weapons and talismans one after another in an attempt to resist this terrifying killing move, but they were broken one after another under the seal of the human king. Feeling that his body was about to be wiped out, he shouted in despair, "Wait a minute. For the sake of the Yuhua sect, please spare your life, senior." Yi Junlin sneered, "The Yuhua sect is nothing. If you dare to provoke me, I will destroy it." You! Mu Lao was shocked and angry. He didn't expect the other party to be so arrogant. Even if a transformed god can dominate in Huangzhou, in Qingzhou Yuhua sect, it can only be regarded as mediocre. As the top cultivation force in the eastern region, how could the monks of this small sect be offended? If I die here, your sect will be destroyed. And as the instigator, your fate will only be even worse. Feeling that his body was on the verge of collapse, Mu Lao was so anxious that he was sweating profusely and shouted at the top of his lungs. You still dare to threaten me now? Yi Junlin raised his hand to press it down and shouted coldly, "Death." What? In the screams, with a rumble, the human King Seal burst out with brilliant divine light. Mu Lao was immediately crushed into fly ash and died on the spot. This moment, Fenglei's sect was silent. Chen Yunhai fell to his knees, covered in cold sweat. His whole body was shaking because he was too scared. He looked at the silver-haired young man who looked like an immortal and said in a trembling voice, "Mr. Yi Shen, this is all a misunderstanding. Our Fenglei sect is willing to surrender and work for you. In the current situation, save your life first." Seeing the sect leader kneeling, everyone in the Fenglei sect also knelt down. In front of a powerful person in the realm of God transformation, any resistance was in vain. "Are you worthy of being my dog?" Yi Junlin said disdainfully. Chen Yunhai's body trembled. He slowly raised his head, his eyes were covered with scarlet bloodshot eyes, and he gritted his teeth and said, "Mr. Yi Shen, my son Chen Xiao has the appearance of becoming an immortal, and now he is accepted by the Venerable as his direct descendant in the Yuhua sect. Can you really afford to offend me? Don't make this mistake." He hoped that this would make Yi Junlin afraid and spare his life. "Oh," Yi Junlin said with great interest, "the appearance of becoming an immortal. He is quite boastful. Even if he really becomes an immortal in the future, I can kill him to show you that he has the ability to become stronger when he encounters strong ones. Even if the legendary Immortal Emperor comes, his cultivation level will surpass him. No fear at all. You. Chen Yunhai's eyes were splitting, and he was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood. He could see that this was a madman, an out-and-out madman. Rumbling, at this time, a large number of warships appeared in the sky, charging straight towards Fenglei's sect with a huge momentum. Junior brother Yi, we are here. That a ray of blue lightning cut through the sky like a shooting star, revealing the figure of the sect leader. The 7 peak masters followed closely behind, their eyes filled with fighting spirit. That's someone from Xiantian's sect. It's over, we are helpless. Run. Fenglei's sect fell into chaos, with disciples and elders fleeing everywhere. Humph, if I had known today, why would I kill him in the first place? Su Yonyan shouted in a deep voice. Boom boom. One warship after another emitted dazzling beams of light, bombarding various places wildly, with flames rising into the sky and smoke filling the air. Countless Xiantian sect monks rushed out with magic weapons in hand, and their shouts of killing shook the heaven and the earth. Looking at the scene of mountains of corpses and seas of blood in front of him, Chen Yunhai's face was filled with grief, and his intestines turned green with regret. He stared at Yi Junlin, his eyes filled with strong resentment. If this guy hadn't deliberately concealed his cultivation, how could he have provoked the Xiantian sect? What the hell, he has the realm of becoming a god, and he's still hiding it. What a loss to this man. You just wait for me. My son has the appearance of becoming an immortal. The shame of today's bloodbath will be repaid 1,000 times by my son. Chen Yunhai roared out of control. Shame. Yi Junlin reached out his hand and touched it disdainfully. Bang. Chen Yunhai's head exploded like a watermelon, and his headless body fell into a pool of blood. Several other Jindan monks tried to escape, but Yi Junlin raised his hand and slapped them to death. Soon, under everyone's offensive, Fenglei's sect was uprooted, and various elixirs and trophies were moved to the warships in batches. We won. Long live. The Xiantian sect monks cheered excitedly. Su Yonyan's face was flushed, and his laughter was loud and strong. Junior brother Yi, do you think what I found? He took out an exquisite brocade box, and when he opened it, he found a spiritual elixir. It's the infant transformation pill. I found this from old Go Chen. I didn't expect this guy to have such a good thing. With it, I can break through the nascent soul in a few days. Su Yonyan is very happy. He has been stuck in the golden elixir stage for many years, and this is his biggest gain. Congratulations, sect master, our Xiantian sect now has a second nascent soul. A peak master said excitedly, in the nascent soul stage, he is the overlord in Huangzhou. There are 2 of them in Xiantian sect at once, enough to be among the best among all the major sects. Actually, Yi Junlin thought for a while and decided to speak. Suddenly, a surprised shout came. Everyone! What do you think this is? I picked it up on the ground. The master of the hidden sword peak walked quickly and raised the simple token in his hand. The word Yuhua on the token was brilliant and extraordinary. Su Yonyan's eyes widened and he said in shock, This is the token of the Yuhua sect. Huh? The master of hidden sword peak was startled and looked at the token in his hand in shock. He didn't expect it to be so big. That's the holy land for immortal cultivation in Qingzhou, a veritable top force in the eastern region. And looking at the style of this token, maybe the wearer is not low in the Yuhua sect and is also an elder. Su Yonyan took the token, looked at it carefully in his hand, and exclaimed, Heard. The crowd was stunned. That kind of existence must be at least at the level of a god. But, how could it appear in Fenglei's sect? The master of Tianxiang Peak said softly. Suddenly, everyone was stunned and thinking. Did it fall accidentally? Su Yonyan frowned. He didn't think about the relationship with Fenglei's sect at all, because the former was a giant dragon flying in the 9 heavens, and the latter was just an ant as big as sesame seeds. How could there be an intersection? Cough cough. Su Yonyan cleared his throat, looked at the vast sky, and said in a deep voice, I have no intention of offending, senior, please show up and get the token back. Everyone looked up in anticipation. If it appears, maybe we can form a good relationship. If we connect with the Yuhua sect, it will be great for Xiantian's sect in the future. Result, in the sky, there was a cry of crows. Su Yonyan refused to give up and wanted to continue speaking, but was patted on the shoulder. He turned to look at a silver-haired young man who looked at him with a strange face. Junior brother Yi, you. Yi Junlin said helplessly, stop shouting, everyone will be killed by me. Chapter 6 Accepting a Disciple, the Leader of the Demon Cult. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Everyone was dumbfounded. The dignified Yuhua sect elder was killed by you. Su Yonyan was startled and said in surprise, Junior brother Yi, are you kidding? With your level. Obviously, he was suspicious of Yi Junlin. Actually, I am not in the nascent soul realm. With that said, Yi Junlin deliberately released his cultivation aura. Boom. Su Yonyan and the others felt as if they had fallen into an ice cellar, and fear arose in their hearts. They felt how insignificant they were in front of this huge sense of oppression. Transform into a god. A flash of extreme shock flashed in their eyes, and their expressions were full of disbelief. If nascent soul can move in all directions in Huangzhou, then transformation god is a giant that can move completely sideways. Even in the entire eastern region, they can receive preferential treatment from all forces. Su Yonyan was originally very excited, but when he saw the token in his hand, the joy in his heart suddenly disappeared and was replaced by deep worry. Junior brother Yi, what is going on? Why did you kill the people from the Yuhua sect? That kind of behemoth, if it stomps its feet casually, the entire eastern region will be shaken. Xiantian's sect was as insignificant as dust in front of him. This is what happened. Yi Junlin did not hide anything and told the whole story. What? Chen Laogo's son was actually accepted as his direct descendant by the venerable Yuhua sect. No wonder there is an elder who has traveled thousands of miles to come here. Fenglei's sect is really lucky. It's over. Now Fenglei's sect has been destroyed, and you killed the elder of Yuhua sect. This matter can definitely not be solved. After knowing the various reasons, several peak masters were anxious and worried. Su Yonyan sighed, that's all, this is fate. Even if junior brother Yi doesn't take action and has the support of the Yuhua sect, Chen Laogo will still attack my Xiantian sect. But how should we deal with this matter now? Is there any place for the Xiantian sect in the entire eastern region if we have offended the Yuhua sect? The master of Tianxiang Peak asked worriedly. The crowd fell silent. Su Yonyan's eyes changed, as if he had made some kind of determination, and he said in a serious tone to Yi Junlin, Junior brother Yi, you are extremely talented and have a profound connection with the immortal world. You must not ruin your future here. If you ask me, you should simply leave the eastern region in the future. The Yuhua sect is here to hold you accountable. We are at risk of death. As long as you are still alive, Xiantian's sect has a chance to continue. The suzerain is right, the master of Hidden Sword Peak said seriously. Agree. The others nodded, their eyes full of determination. See, Yi Junlin was shocked, this sect is so cohesive. Everyone, please be patient. Leave this matter to me and I will take care of it. Yi Junlin smiled. If he encounters a cheat that is stronger than others, he is still eager for the Yuhua sect to cause trouble. In addition to receiving the usual sign-in rewards, Yi Junlin is sure to make a further leap in strength. Ding, it has been detected that there is a suitable disciple candidate within 100 miles, who is suspected to be the leader of the demon cult at the level of a true immortal. Will the host go and accept him as his disciple? After completing it, you will receive unimaginable rewards. At this time, a sweet lowly sound came into my mind. Yi Junlin froze on the spot. What's the situation? The system actually asked him to recruit a disciple, and the other party was the leader of the demon sect at the level of a true immortal. Existences of this level also appear in Huangzhou. Wait, if I go to touch porcelain, I will be in the realm of true immortality directly with my golden finger. Damn it, woohoo is taking off. Even if we don't accept disciples, we still have to go this time. But at this time, Su Yonyan looked troubled and wanted to speak out to persuade him. but Yi Junlin waved his hand to interrupt. Everyone, you are free to do as you like. I'll take my leave first. Then, he used the Great Void technique and disappeared, leaving everyone confused. Zishu bamboo forest, the bamboo forest is rustling and the green leaves are flying. There was a tall figure running away in embarrassment, blood overflowing from the corner of his mouth. Hong Qinya has disheveled hair, a delicate and beautiful face, with a frosty face, a vermilion flame mark between her eyebrows, and a pair of beautiful red and phoenix eyes, showing sadness and indignation. Jie 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 jie, beauty, don't run away, let me be happy, Master Dao. From behind, an evil voice came from far to near, full of greed for desire. Hear this, Red Chinya's forehead had veins protruding, she turned around and roared, get out. How many times have I told you? I am a man. A man. The empty master who was chasing after him laughed loudly, with a burning look in his eyes. The girl is so beautiful, how could she be a boy? Stop trying to trick me. The more Hong Qinya listened, the angrier she became. Feeling that the other party was rapidly approaching, a sadness suddenly emerged in her heart. It's really a tiger falling in Pingyang being bullied by a dog. He was once the all-powerful leader of the demon cult in the central region. The fire worship demon cult he founded was so powerful that it ruled over countries and was followed by hundreds of millions of believers. His own cultivation level has even reached the realm of true immortality. Who can imagine, the sworn enemies united with multiple Holy Land forces to launch a large-scale siege against the fire worship demon sect. The once huge forces fell apart, and the forces that had previously been loyal to them all turned their backs on the battlefield. The leader of the demon sect, Hong Chiba, also became the target of the crusade. That day, immortals from all over the sky came to take his life. Hong Qinya used the supreme secret method and risked all his cultivation to force his way out of the siege. He went through countless hardships to escape to the eastern region and hid in this remote and barren state. Today's Hong Qinya is no longer in the realm of the true immortal level, and her cultivation has already fallen to the early stage of the foundation establishment realm. She originally wanted to use the skills to practice again, and then return to the central region for revenge. As a result, after hiding for only a few days, I met a pervert. He must be caught doing evil things. After all, he was once the leader of the demon cult, a being who attained enlightenment and became an immortal. If such an ant succeeds, I am afraid that his spiritual heart will collapse, and how can there be any revenge? Beauty, run faster, Master Dao, I'm going to catch you. If it falls into my hands, hey. Master Kong Kong had heavy dark circles under his eyes, as if he was overindulging in lust. At this time, he was riding the golden light across the bamboo forest, staring at the back with greedy eyes, and screamed strangely, as a monk in the golden core realm, isn't it easy to catch a foundation builder? Soon, several brown nails flew to pin Hong Chinya's limbs. Hearing the sound of the wind, Hong Chinya felt alarmed. He raised his hand to make a gesture and used the red flame shield to intercept the nails. However, the shield also shattered, causing him to groan and fly backwards, smashing several bamboos. Fall to the ground. Hong Qinya resisted the urge to vomit blood and left before she could adjust her condition. As a result, the surrounding space was blocked by several half-foot-long nails. Hey, your little foundation building is quite capable. Master Kong Kong was a little surprised. He is in the late stage of the golden core realm, and the nails he used just now are still 5th-grade magic weapons in the magic weapon. Under such circumstances, he can't subdue the opponent in an instant. This is really surprising. With such a strong strength, could it be that the genius of some sect is traveling? Forget it, when he is done rejoicing, he will directly kill the girl and destroy her body. Damn bitch. Hong Qinya gritted her teeth in hatred, her delicate and cold pretty face full of anger. If all the talismans hadn't been used up in the battle and all the magic weapons were destroyed, how could he be chased like this by a mere golden elixir? Beauty, don't resist. Master Dao, my patience is limited. Be good, bear with me. Master Kong had a wretched look on his face and slowly approached. Several nails were aimed at Hong Qinya, emitting a terrifying aura. seeing that he was forced to a dead end. Hong Qianye couldn't bear it anymore. He stretched out his hands to open his collar, revealing his strong chest. He almost broke down and yelled, "Your ancestor! Open your dog eyes and watch me. The seat is male. Male." This moment, the bamboo forest was silent. Kong Junlin's eyes almost fell out of his head, and his face was full of disbelief. "Damn it. Really a man? I have been chasing for so long, is it in vain? Do you see clearly? We are all men just like you. Stop chasing me." Hong Chiba adjusted her clothes, thinking that after clarifying her gender, she could finally leave. There are really people for everyone these days, so she should be more careful next time, so as not to be entangled by such an old pervert again. And many more. Master Kong's voice sounded faintly, causing goosebumps to appear all over Hong Qianye's body. Actually, it's not impossible for men to. Chapter 7: The Desperate Demon Cult Leader. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Hong Qianye was stunned and felt a chill in her heart. Hee, you look like this. I admit you are a man. Be obedient and get down quickly. Master Dao, I can't wait to try it out. Master Kong said with a lewd smile, his eyes filled with intense desire. Go away. I would rather die than surrender. Hong Qianye roared, exhausting all the mana in his body, and quickly cast spells with his hands. A blazing orange-red flame appeared above his head, like a magnificent lotus blooming, containing terrifying energy. The surrounding temperature rose rapidly, and the leaves on the ground burned. Okay. Master Kong's expression changed, and he felt a little dry. I have never seen such a large formation brought by a monk in the foundation building stage. What level of spell is this? Xuanjie. Or the ground level? You bitch, you've completely pissed me off. Go to hell. Hong Qianye's long hair was flying, her eyes were cold and frightening, as if she was possessed by the former demon giant, and her tone was unquestionable. Swish. The blooming flame lotus, with its overwhelming momentum, pressed towards Master Kong. Feeling the terrifying oppression coming, Master Kong's face turned pale, and he raised his hand to recall the magic weapon to resist. Unexpectedly, several nails were quickly melted. The next second, the orange-red flame lotus arrived in an instant. Ah! Master Kong let out a shrill wail, and the flames crazily burned his body like gangrene attached to his bones. After a while, it turned into charred residue and disappeared without a trace as the breeze blew. You pervert, you asked for this. Hong Qianye sneered and staggered to the ground. At this time, his dantian was almost broken, and there was a strong feeling of weakness all over his body. The magical power just now was of the heavenly level. Although its power was astonishing, the price it brought was unbearable in the foundation building stage. If this move can't kill the opponent, Hong Qianye will really have nothing to do. There is no way. His realm has plummeted. Even if he has mastered various powerful magical powers, he does not have enough cultivation to use them. In the past, I could instantly kill such ants with just one look. Now Hong Qianye, her body's mana has been exhausted, her body is in very bad condition, and she is as weak as a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. It's really unfortunate that something like this happened. I must leave here immediately and find a place to recuperate before making any plans. Hong Qianye stood up with difficulty. Hey, that pervert died unjustly. You really have a lot of background. Suddenly, a sudden voice came, which made Hong Qianye, who had originally let down his guard, feel his heart in his throat. There was an old beggar man with messy hair and a red nose walking slowly out of the bamboo forest with a wine gourd in his hand and a sly look in his eyes. Who are you? Hong Qianye's face looked ugly. Is this the end? Don't think too much, little friend. I happened to be passing by here, and that's when I came across this interesting scene. Although I know Master Kong, I don't have a deep relationship with him, and I won't pursue his death. The old beggar smiled kindly. Besides, my orientation is normal, so you can rest assured. That's good. Hong Qianye breathed a sigh of relief, cupped her hands and said, in this case, I'll see you again in the future. fellow Taoist, so I say goodbye. According to his intuition, this old beggar is very dangerous. Just as Hong Qinya turned around, a gust of wind blew past her eyes. The old beggar appeared instantly. His disheveled face showed yellow teeth, and said with a strange smile, "But compared to the person in front of me, what I am more interested in is the secret in you." Boom. In an instant, the aura of Jindan realm's cultivation shrouded Hong Chinya's body, and he couldn't help but kneel on the ground. His bones were rattling, and his eyes were very bloodshot. Hong Chinya's eyes were about to burst, knowing that this disaster would probably not be avoided. After all, he was once a giant in the demonic world, and he gradually overcame tribulations and became an immortal by climbing and rolling. No one was more aware of the dangers and the intrigues among practitioners than he was. This old guy wants to take away his immortality. Let me see what's going on in your mind and why you have mastered such powerful magical powers. The old beggar man's eyes flashed with a cold light, and he slowly stretched out his skinny palm. "I am your ancestor." Hong Qinya gritted her teeth, feeling extremely anxious. In his current state, he is like fish on a chopping board and can only be slaughtered by others. Will his journey of reconstruction end here? At this time, the old beggar man was smiling, his palms were already on Hong Chinya's head, and he was about to use soul search regardless of the consequences. I'm not reconciled. Hong Qinya screamed in her heart, and a sense of shame surged through her body. Boom. At this time, the terrifying pressure came instantly, and the whole world seemed to collapse. Who? The old beggar's expression suddenly changed, a huge sense of fear emerged in his heart, and he turned around in fear. On the other side, ripples appeared in the void, and a young man in black robe with an ethereal temperament walked out with his hands behind his back. His long silver-white hair was flying wildly, his face was extremely handsome, and his eyes were like two gleams of cold light, piercing him suddenly. The old beggar didn't dare to move, big beads of sweat spilled from his forehead, and his lips trembled. "Senior." Junlin frowned, his eyes moved away from the old beggar, and then rested on Hong Qinya, who was half kneeling on the ground. "Okay." Suddenly, Junlin's face looked very strange. "Tongzi, come on, tell me, is this the leader of the demon cult? Or is it the level of a true immortal? Isn't this a foundation-building weakling? Are you lying?" Ding, this system didn't lie to you. This demon sect leader who was once a true fairyland has just fallen in cultivation. Ding, the eye of insight has been opened for the host. Next second, Hong Chinya's personal information formed a virtual panel and appeared in front of Junlin. Name read Chiba. Sex, male, cultivation, early stage of foundation building realm, talent, immortal fire spiritual root, damaged. Identity, former leader of the fire demon sect, a true fairyland monk who overcame tribulations and became an immortal. Damn it, it's true. Junlin was very surprised. He didn't expect that this person was so awesome before, but now he is really inferior to a phoenix. And many more. This is actually a man. Junlin stared at the gender column in shock, and then carefully looked at Hong Qinya again, with a flash of surprise in his eyes. The snow-white skin is smooth and delicate, the facial features are exquisite and the eyebrows are picturesque. The pair of red phoenix eyes are so beautiful that they seem to be able to capture the soul. The scarlet flame mark between the eyebrows adds a different kind of charm and style. Just for her looks, many girls would feel ashamed after seeing her. Ahem, it turns out this is a man. Junlin originally thought that this was a big shot in women's clothing, but judging from the clothes the other party wore, she didn't do anything deliberately. She was a true natural beauty. Coupled with this long hair, anyone could see it. Wrong gender. Although it's only the foundation building period, if you have this talent for cultivation, you can definitely return to your previous heights. Accepting him as a disciple will pay off. Junlin thought secretly. What's more, being able to command a demon sect leader, a once high-ranking immortal, is so exciting just thinking about it. It's over. The other party is a monk in the realm of gods. I am in danger today. Hong Qinya looked desperate and was not happy about Junlin's arrival. In his opinion, the secrets in him are enough to make the entire world of cultivation boil. How many strong men will fight for him, just to compete for this immortal fate? Therefore, this silver-haired young man is no exception. Once the old beggar is killed, he will fall into the hands of others, and the ending will not change at all. Chapter 8 Accepting a Disciple. Get the burial coffin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The old beggar was so scared that he almost peed in his crotch. Is there any mistake? How could there be a powerful god in a small deserted state? Could it be related to this man? Combined with Hong Qinya's extraordinary origin, the old beggar increasingly felt that Yi Junlin might be his elder. Thinking of this, the old beggar man felt very regretful. What a sin. What a bad luck. This divine lord, I don't know your relationship with this little friend. Everything that happened just now was a misunderstanding. I hope that the divine lord will be noble and let you go. The old beggar knelt on the ground and begged like a mourning concubine. In the world of cultivation, monks in each realm have corresponding honorific titles, such as, golden elixir is called real person, nascent soul is called the true king, and the transformed god is called the divine lord. Now, Yi Junlin didn't even bother to look at him, and waved his hand casually as if to ward off flies. Bang! The old beggar was hit by an invisible force. He vomited blood and his whole body flew upside down like a broken kite. Then his head was heavily stuck on the ground, half of his body was submerged in the soil, and he passed out. Seeing the silver-haired young man approaching step by step, Hong Qinya had a sad smile on his face. After all, there is no way to hide. Just when he was feeling sad and angry, a voice fell lightly on his ears. I am amazed to see your bones. You are a rare genius in cultivating immortals. I will decide to accept you as my disciple today. How about that? That the sound was not loud, but it was like a thunderous explosion, making Hong Qinya's head buzz. What? Hong Qinya couldn't believe it. She raised her head and looked at the serious silver-haired young man, with thoughts running wildly in her mind. Humph, this little god-transforming monk actually wants to accept me as his disciple. Could it be that you are interested in the secrets of me and want to explore further? But if so, why not just search for the soul? Or maybe you want to change your strategy to make me feel grateful to him and give back to him when I reach the top again in the future. In fact, it's no wonder Hong Qinya thinks so. As a giant of the demonic generation, he experienced various cruel struggles before finally attaining enlightenment and becoming an immortal, establishing a great reputation in the central realm. Hong Qinya has seen so many people who are hypocritical. Compared to the decisiveness and ruthlessness of the demonic monks, the hypocrisy and duplicity of the righteous monks made him feel sicker. Of course, everything cannot be generalized, but Hong Qinya felt that the goodwill released by Yi Junlin was more biased towards his guesses and perceptions. You are not willing. Yi Junlin seemed to be smiling but not smiling. Sensing the change in the other party's tone, Hong Qinya's heart skipped a beat. Forget it, keep the green hills and don't worry about running out of firewood. When he recovers his cultivation level, he will be able to stand up and call the shots. After all, giving in now is the best way. It's just acting, just going through the motions. Disciple Hong Qinya, pay homage to Master. It is the greatest honor in my life to be able to join Master. Hong Qinya fell to her knees and bowed to her master in a serious manner, saying in a grateful tone. Hey, good disciple, please get up quickly. Hong Qinya, what a good name. I'll call you Xiao Hong as my teacher from now on. Yi Junlin suppressed a smile. He knew that the leader of the demon cult was not sincere, but it didn't matter. He just wanted to add new members to his Piaomiao peak and complete the tasks released by the system. As for whether he would rebel after he regained his realm, Yi Junlin didn't worry about it at all, because his cultivation would only become stronger. Xiao Hong. The muscles in the corners of Hong Qinya's eyes twitched, and she felt very aggrieved. It was too casual to say that he was the leader of the demon cult. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the task of recruiting a disciple and being rewarded with the automatic training mode of magical powers. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the sky burial coffin, which contains 108 restrictions, which will be gradually unlocked as the host's realm improves. It is currently at the level of a third-grade spiritual weapon. Burial in the sky coffin, you can bury in the sky, you can bury in the earth, you can bury everything. It can be used to refine any living being, and even in the later stages, it can be buried in coffins in all the worlds. Ding, the host apprentices qualifications have been detected, and this system provides an upgraded service package for free. Ding, the reward is the fire system skill, 3000 Flames Sutra. Ding, reward the fire source pill, used to repair the fire spiritual roots and create the supreme foundation. Ding, the rewards for this mission have ended. Is the host still satisfied? The sweet system Lolita sounded in my mind. Well, the service attitude is good. It's none of your business now. Please step aside. Yi Junlin was excited inside, but pretended to be calm on his face. Ding, okay. This is the attitude that the system should have towards the distinguished Chinese travelers. Yi Junlin sighed secretly, having experienced a master's service. The reward this time includes the ability to practice all the magical powers and techniques he has learned. This is tantamount to saving him a lot of time, and he can lie down happily in the future. You must know that magical powers and techniques have their own cultivation progress, which is related to the level of power exerted by the practitioner. They are entry, small success, great success, consummation, and transformation. In each stage, the power and effect exploded can reach up to 10 times or even 100 times. Cultivation is certainly important, but his own strength is strong enough, and he can also surpass the level and kill the enemy unexpectedly. There is also this sky burial coffin that is rewarded by the system. Hearing this reputation makes me feel domineering, and I am ready to ruin the way of heaven if I disagree with you. Just relying on this magical weapon, which currently reaches the level of a spiritual weapon, is enough for him to be proud of the entire eastern region. After all, magic weapons are divided into magic weapons, treasure weapons, spiritual weapons, mysterious weapons, fairy weapons, and holy weapons. It is further subdivided into grades 1 to 9, with 9 being the limit. It is extremely difficult for most monks in Kunlun realm to reach the threshold of treasures in this life, not to mention the spiritual weapons exclusively for the big guys. Moreover, the sky burial coffin can be restored step by step as his realm improves, unlocking the corresponding restrictions. In the end, Yi Junlin was looking forward to seeing how amazingly powerful this supreme treasure could be. Master! Master! Hong Chinya's voice interrupted Yi Junlin's thoughts. Seeing this exquisite and beautiful face with a hint of weirdness, Yi Junlin knew that he had been distracted just now. Ahem, Xiaohong, as a ceremony to become a master, the master should give you a technique that will help you practice in the future. Thank you, master. Hong Chiba symbolically bowed her hands in thanks, and when she lowered her head, her eyes showed disdain. This little transformed god still dares to teach me how to practice. I'm giving you face, right? Pretending to be addicted? I want to see what kind of rubbish techniques you can come up with to fool people. Swish. Yi Junlin stretched out his finger and tapped it gently, and the light containing various information merged into the red Qinya sea of consciousness. 3000 Flames Sutra. Hong Qinya frowned and realized it subconsciously. Boom. He originally responded with a contemptuous attitude, but he felt that his mind exploded instantly. Hong Chinya's breathing quickened, 2 blushes ignited on his cheeks, and his whole body continued to tremble at a speed visible to the naked eye. Ah. At this time, Hong Chinya's mind was shaken violently, and he was trapped in the mystery of the 3000 Flames Sutra and couldn't extricate himself. The reverse chaos angry flame technique that he majors in is a top-level fire attribute technique. Even in the middle realm, it is already on the ceiling and plays a vital role in personal practice. Hong Qinya has always been very satisfied with this technique, and she is confident that she can regain her strength, break through and then establish again, and become an immortal again. But now, the 3000 Flames Sutra given by the other party directly overturned Hong Chinya's various perceptions, and her mentality suddenly changed dramatically, compared with the 3000 Flames Sutra. His reverse chaos wrath flame technique is simply complete garbage. There is no comparison at all, it is the difference between heaven and earth. Oh my god, this is definitely the immortal level, even the legendary holy level. Hong Qianye seemed to be hit by huge happiness, and she was dizzy. You can imagine the shock in her heart. This skill not only opens up a new fire-calling practice method, but also contains 3,000 fire-type magical powers. The higher the ranking, the more powerful it is. With the help of this skill, his cultivation will be extremely fast, and his strength will increase beyond imagination. Return to true immortality. Do not. Be braver. While Hong Qianye was thinking about it, Yi Junlin threw him another round red pill, and this one, for you. This is. Looking at the red elixir in her hand, Hong Qianye felt as if she had been struck by lightning, with a look of disbelief on her face and screamed. Fire Source Pill. Chapter 9. Picked up by luck. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Oh, it turns out you know each other. Yi Junlin said. Hong Qianye's heart was like a turbulent wave. With his former position, he was naturally well informed and was no stranger to Fire Source Pill. For monks who major in fire attribute skills, this is simply an elixir given by God, which can have an extremely significant amplification effect. It's so precious that even immortals would fight for it. Moreover, ever since he used the secret technique and escaped from death, his foundation has been damaged, which will affect his future cultivation path. The appearance of this Fire Source Pill is like giving help in the snow. This is all for me. Hong Qianye murmured to himself. No one has been so kind to him since he was a child. Some people only have evil intentions and intrigues. Now Yi Junlin has given him skills and elixirs, all of which are of unimaginably high grades. While he has helped Hong Qianye a lot, he is also very grateful. Wait a minute. How did a small person in the realm of transformation get these two things? Not even I, in my heyday, have the ability to do this. Hong Qianye felt ridiculous. What's wrong with this year? The techniques and elixirs that even the top giants in the Central Territory were crazy about were now casually taken out by a monk from the barren state. Could it be that he has a greater destiny? Hong Qianye's thoughts were spinning, and her heart was beating wildly. After all, whether it is the 3,000 Flames Sutra or the Fire Source Pill, it is definitely not something that the God Transformation Cultivator can come up with. The only explanation could be that the other party brought it from some ancient ruins, but with his current eyesight, he didn't know how rare it was. Thinking of this, Hong Qianye's breathing became extremely rapid, and she felt that she was lucky. Xiaohong, are you not satisfied with what I gave you as a teacher? Seeing Hong Qianye's expression changing one after another, Yi Junlin found it a bit funny. What was the demon sect leader thinking about? Hong Qianye came back to her senses. Her attitude immediately changed drastically. She raised her hands and said in a deep voice, Master, this is absolutely not the case. It is a disciple's great fortune to meet the master and take him in as a disciple. In this case, he might as well be this disciple and wait until his cultivation improves to find out the secrets of this person. Well, take this pill, and master will protect you personally. Thank you, master. Then, Hong Qianye swallowed the Fire Source Pill, sat cross-legged and meditated and began to refine the medicine. In an instant, wisps of green smoke came out from the top of his head. His snow-white skin was as red as a soldering iron, his whole face was so red that it was bleeding, and his whole body seemed to be on fire. At this moment, earth-shaking changes took place in his body. Boom. Red Chiba's momentum is rising steadily, the early stage, the middle stage, the late stage, the peak, and the completion of foundation building. Break through the golden elixir. After a while, Hong Qianye's cultivation level stagnated, reaching the early stage of nascent soul. The immortal fire spiritual roots in his body have been restored to their original state, and the foundation has become extremely solid. It will be easy to practice 1,000 miles in the future. In just half an hour, he broke through from foundation establishment to nascent soul. Such an exaggerated breakthrough speed was unheard of in the Central Territory, but in Yi Junlin's view, this guy was originally a true immortal who was recultivated, and with the help of suitable skills and elixirs, it was normal for him to take off. Hong Qianye noticed the changes in her body and was very excited. She raised her head to the sky and roared to vent her happiness. The roar was full of ambition and pride, shaking the entire vast bamboo forest and causing countless birds to flee in all directions. Just wait. When I return to the Central Territory, I will definitely avenge my previous humiliation. When she saw that the silver-haired young man had a strange expression, Hong Qianye realized that she had just lost her composure, coughed a few times and said, "Master, this disciple is rude." "No problem, follow me back to the sect and meet your uncle and uncle." Yi Junlin waved his hand. "Yes, Xian Tianzong, the atmosphere is very warm." Everyone had smiles on their faces. After all, they had just won a big victory, and their hearts were filled with pride. Thanks to Master Ye's presence, otherwise my Xiantian sect would have been destroyed. Yes, Lord Yifeng is our savior. Hey, it's a pity that I was blind and missed the opportunity to worship Piamiao Peak. Otherwise, I would be a disciple of Piamiao Peak now. It would be great if people could join Piamiao Peak, so that they can see the handsome Master Yi every day. Master Yifeng is now the strongest person in the Xiantian sect. His standards for accepting disciples must be very high. I really don't know who he can take a liking to. That there was a lot of discussion within the sect, and countless eyes were cast on Piamiao Peak, full of strong yearning. Everyone used to think that Yi Junlin had lost all his cultivation, so they naturally avoided Piamiao Peak, fearing that he would be implicated and delay his future. Now, Yi Junlin killed Yuanying with one finger, shocking the whole sect. Only then did everyone realize what a great opportunity they had missed. "Look, everyone, Master Yi is back," a disciple shouted. Suddenly, countless eyes converged on him. I saw Yi Junlin with his silver hair flying, his clothes fluttering down from the sky, his face plump and handsome, and his temperament as ethereal as an immortal. "Hey, who is that woman behind him?" Some people were surprised. Hong Qianye is dressed in a fiery red robe, with waterfall-like black hair reaching her waist, a delicate and beautiful face, a high nose, and a flame mark between her eyebrows. She is extremely extraordinary, but her temperament is very cold, as if she is repelling people thousands of miles away. So beautiful. Many male disciples murmured to themselves, their chests pounding. Worse, this is a heart-pounding feeling. Damn it, where did this vixen come from? She can actually get so close to Master Yi. The female disciples were so angry that they almost went crazy, with all kinds of envy and jealousy in their hearts. "Xiao Hong, this is the sect Xiantian sect where my master is from. From now on, you will be my chief disciple of Piamiao Peak." Yi Junlin said with emotion. His barren mountain finally had someone to deal with the weeds. "It is my disciple's honor to join Master's disciples." Hong Qianye said respectfully. A hint of disgust flashed through the pair of iconic red phoenix eyes. This so-called Immortal Cultivation sect is really too shabby, and the people here have very low cultivation levels. Compared with Zhongyu, it is simply a huge difference. Even if it was the fire-worshipping demon cult he founded back then, any ordinary disciple could destroy this place. "Forget it, since I am in urgent need of training, I can just stay here for a while." Hong Qianye said secretly. If it weren't for Yi Junlin, he would have left long ago without looking back. If he wants to dig out the secrets of this person, he must learn to patiently disguise his identity. "Junior brother Yi, are you going?" Su Yonian walked out of the hall, glanced at Hong Qianye behind him, and said tentatively to Yi Junlin. "I picked up a disciple along the way, Xiao Hong, come and pay homage to the sect master." Yi Junlin waved, feeling the middle-aged man's shallow cultivation. Hong Qianye felt a little depressed, but due to the situation, she could only bow her hands and bow in a polite manner. Disciple Hong Qianye meets the sect master. "Apprentice." Su Yonian was stunned. He had just discussed with several other peak masters to hold a grand apprenticeship ceremony and asked Yi Junlin to select suitable disciples to enter Piamiao Peak. Unexpectedly, he picked up a disciple halfway. "Look at this girl, she looks pretty cool." "Hey, what a beautiful girl." The master of Tianxiang Peak twisted his waist and walked over gracefully. When he saw the extremely good-looking Hong Qianye, he couldn't help but move forward to get closer. Hong Qianye's eyes were like piercing with sharp swords, and she shouted, "I am a man." Boom. As he spoke, a powerful aura was released from his whole body. The master of Tianxiang Peak trembled, his pretty face turned pale with fright, and he said in horror, Yuaning. This person is actually a Yuanying realm monk." Su Yonian and the others were shocked. Asshole, this is my senior sister. Yi Junlin frowned and said, hurry up and apologize. Hong Qianye reacted and quickly restrained her cultivation to suppress her inner displeasure. She cupped her hands and said, this disciple is being rude. No, it's okay. The master of Tianxian Peak looked embarrassed and did not dare to continue to approach. Junior brother Yi, where did you recruit your disciple? He is at the nascent soul stage. Su Yonyan clicked his tongue. Harem, I'm lucky to have picked it up. Yi Junlin waved his hand. Everyone looked at each other in blank dismay, speechless. Is the nascent soul stage so worthless these days? You mean you can pick it up by picking it up? Chapter 10. The leader of the demon cult cried. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although everyone was shocked by Yi Junlin's skill in wandering around and casually picking up a nascent soul monk as his apprentice, after all, he was still one of his own, so he was still very happy to have Hong Qianye join him. After all, this means that Xiantian sect's strength has grown again. After everyone dispersed, Yi Junlin took Hong Qianye to Piamiao Peak. You are the chief disciple of my master, so you can choose any cave here. Don't be polite, Yi Junlin said seriously. Hong Qianye looked at the dilapidated cave full of spider webs. The muscles in the corners of her eyes were twitching. After a while, she squeezed out a sentence, thank you, master. It is no exaggeration to say that even the place where the fire worship demon cult's handyman disciples live is better than the environment here. Ahem, it's a little dirty. Just clean it up yourself. Remember, only the weak will complain about the environment, but the strong have often learned to adapt, Yi Junlin said earnestly. After saying that, he disappeared with a whoosh. Go straight away. Hong Qianye clenched her fists tightly, holding back the anger that was about to burst out. She gritted her teeth and said, it's okay, I can bear it. Those who achieve great things must first endure humiliation and bear the burden. Since you choose to become a disciple, you must learn to adapt to this new identity. Next, the news about Xiantian sect's destruction of Fenglei sect instantly swept through the Huangzhou like a storm. What? Fenglei sect was destroyed? Damn it, where did Xiantian sect get its skills? It was ranked last among the 6 sects. Have you heard that the master of Piamiao Peak of Xiantian sect back then was not actually abolished in cultivation? Just today, the nascent soul-level Qingping demon king led his tribe to attack, and he was killed by him. It turns out that he has broken through the nascent soul a long time ago. No wonder the Xiantian sect is so strong. This boy has such a terrible character, and he was able to hide it for so long. If you ask me, Fenglei sect is really unlucky. It happened to provoke others at this time. TSK, everyone will die now. All parties were having heated discussions, obviously frightened by this sudden incident. Especially the other 4 sects are very wary of Xiantian sect and dare not look down upon them in return. A nascent soul is not much to say, but in a remote place like Huangzhou, he is an overlord-level powerhouse, enough to protect a force for thousands of years. Humph, if it weren't for the invasion of the Qingping demon king, how long would the Misty Peak master still want to hide? Although nascent soul is very strong, in the eyes of my Banshan sect, it is not your arrogance capital. That the leader of the Banshan sect, known as the strongest sect in Huangzhou, sneered with his hands behind his back, just because the ancestor of the Banshan sect was the ceiling of the nascent soul realm in his early years. He has been in seclusion all these years just to attack the gods. If successful, the Banshan sect will completely dominate Huangzhou. The same moment, Qingzhou is the leader of the Daozhou in the eastern region. There are numerous cultivating families, immortal dynasties, and cultivating sects here. The Yuhua sect is recognized as the supreme holy land, respected and worshipped by hundreds of millions of people, and has continued its glory for millions of years. In a certain ancestral temple, there were densely packed spiritual tablets enshrined. Among them was a spiritual tablet that had already cracked into pieces, which scared a disciple who woke up from his sleep and turned pale with fear. Oh my God, this is Mu Lao's. To know, Mu Lao is the outer elder of the Yuhua sect. He is quite prestigious in the outer sect. He is proficient in earth-level magical powers and is the best among the elders of the outer sect. Who would have thought that he would suddenly die like this? Soon, the news of Mu Lao's death was reported to the top of the sect. The top leaders of the sect were furious. Who was Fang Xing so bold? How dare you attack the elders of Yuhua sect? Everyone was very angry. As a member of the Yuhua sect, no one from all forces dared to mess with anyone who walked out on weekdays. They were treated like a master. Now one of their elders was out on business and was killed without any reason. On the towering fairy peak, there was a middle-aged man wearing a golden robe. His eyes opened and closed, and the golden light pierced the sky. It was extremely frightening. He had thick golden hair, braided into small braids, with only hundreds of strands hanging down on his chest and back. People are filled with an aura of unfathomable terror. This is Lord Juyang. Master, it's all my fault. It was my disciple who entrusted Mr. Mu to deliver the elixir to my father. That a handsome man wearing a robe with a blazing sun pattern knelt on his knees, lowered his head and admitted his mistake. Chen Xiao, Chen Yinhai's son. Get up, it's not your fault. Lord Juyang slowly raised his hand, and an invisible force lifted Chen Xiao up. Thank you, Master, for your forgiveness. Chen Xiao's eyes changed and he hesitated to speak. If you have anything to ask, just say it. Venerable Juyang said calmly. Chen Xiao said in a deep voice, Mu Lao's death has made my disciple worried. I always feel that my father's sect will be implicated, so I really want to go to Huangzhou to see it in person. Venerable Juyang shook his head. Xiao, do you know why I accept you as my disciple? Is it because this disciple has a sun immortal body? Does he have the appearance of becoming an immortal? Chen Xiao said, in the world of cultivation, in addition to spiritual roots, a monk's physique is also very important. A strong physique can exert considerable fighting power, or make rapid progress in practice. The physiques in this world are divided into spiritual body, true body, precious body, fairy body and holy body. And Chen Xiao is pregnant with the sun immortal body, which is why the Yuhua sect attaches great importance to it. Venerable Juyang said expressionlessly, this is one, and the other is that I see huge ambition in you. You who are eager to become stronger, how can you be bothered by this little family affection? The day for the true disciple competition is coming soon. You must prepare early. As long as you defeat the other true disciples and win the leader, the sect will increase its resources for you. Lean. This is a real benefit. But. No but. As for Fenglei's sect, the Master Association will send someone to Huangzhou to find out what's going on. Heard, Chen Xiao had no choice but to put aside the doubts in his heart, bowed his hands and said, disciple will definitely live up to Master's expectations. Then, turn around and leave, Venerable Juyang said coldly, come, go to Huangzhou to see what's going on. A deep voice suddenly came from the void, yes. Xiantian's sect, on Piaomiao Peak, the lingering smoke curled up, and the smell of meat came out. Hong Chiba grilled the mutton skewers with ease. While controlling the heat, she also sprinkled the special spices at the right time. The mutton skewers were grilled tender, juicy and sizzling. Glancing quietly behind her at the silver-haired young man lying on a chair basking in the sun, Hong Chiba's face looked a little ugly. He was a demonic giant who once caused a bloody storm in the Central Territory and controlled hundreds of millions of spiritual lives. If someone mentions his honorable title, even a crying baby will stop crying. Now, he is working as a handyman in an unpopular sect. If his former rivals knew about this, they would definitely laugh until they shed tears. Eat, 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 what's so delicious? I really can't understand that a monk in the transformation of God realm would actually covet this kind of appetite. It's superficial. Hong Qianye cursed secretly. Xiaohong, are you ready? My teacher can't wait any longer. There was a shout from behind. Okay, master, I will bring it to you right now. Hong Qianye placed dozens of mutton skewers on the plate and presented them to Yi Junlin, who was enjoying the meal. Yi Junlin leaned back on the chair comfortably, picked up a fragrant mutton skewer, and ate it deliciously. During this period, you don't need to practice anything at all. You just need to lie down and sign in, and your magical powers and exercises will be practiced automatically, which is very impressive. And because there were too many sign-in rewards, most of which were quite useless, he simply gave some of the ones he didn't see as useless to Su Yonyan and the others to improve their strength, making everyone excited and grateful. Ding, dear host, are you satisfied with the secret kebab condiments rewarded by this system? The system's Lolita sound came through my mind. It's so wide. The smell reminds me of a city in my hometown that's famous for its barbecue. Ding, as long as the host is satisfied. Yi Junlin looked at Hong Qinya standing next to him and pursed his lips. Hey, you can have one too, you're welcome. Hong Qinya shook her head. Master, this disciple has achieved complete fasting and no longer has any interest in food in the world. Hey, if you can cultivate to immortality like this, what's the point of having any energy? Just listen to my teacher and eat as much as you want. Yi Junlin shook his head and said. No, master, I am really not interested. Hong Qinya felt very contemptuous and felt that Yi Junlin was a strange flower in the world of cultivation. Damn. You don't want to give me face, right? Just eat what my teacher tells you to eat. How come there is so much nonsense? Yi Junlin stared. I can't cure you, little one. Hong Qinya. Finally, at Yi Junlin's request, Hong Qinya picked up a mutton skewer with repulsion, first smelled it, and then bit the meat into her mouth with a look of disgust. Boom. In an instant, the extremely explosive deliciousness hit his taste buds crazily. Chewing the red chinya carefully, an indescribable and wonderful feeling rippled through my heart. For a moment, my whole body was shaking like an electric shock, and I felt like my soul was about to leave my body, and I was in a state of ecstasy. I don't know why, maybe because it touched the deep memories of his childhood. The eyes of this murderous leader of the demon cult became wet, 2 lines of tears fell. Silently. Okay, delicious.